Hey everyone, I'm Jesus. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are going to talk about how to do the best possible shadowing exercise. If you have no idea what a shadowing exercise is, you are in for a treat because it's one of the best ways to improve everything about your English. And if you've been doing it for a while, I recommend you stay with me because you'll learn the biggest mistakes English learners make when doing shadowing. I'm also going to share practical tips to help you optimize your practice because I love efficiency. If you're already practicing, it might as well work extremely well for you. That is exactly what this video is about. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jesus Salazar. I'm a non-native speaker of English, and I'm here to help you sound confident, clear, and proud when speaking English. Pride is not something that you hear, it is something that you feel when you listen to someone speak. And I want you to feel genuinely proud of your English because it is your second, third, or even fourth language, and you deserve to be proud regardless of the outcome. Shadowing is good for you, but why? Let's talk about the shadowing technique. Shadowing means that you shadow someone speaking. Essentially, you repeat what they are saying. You can also call it an imitation exercise, or ghost reading, or an echoing exercise, because you are echoing what you hear. Before we get into how to do it and how to avoid the biggest mistake, let's clarify why it is so effective. First, shadowing helps you develop intuition. In other words, it helps you understand English on a deeper level, one that is not purely logical or intellectual. You feel it in your body, the rhythm, the sounds, the flow. There are aspects of speech you cannot always explain logically. Why something sounds the way it does, why the rhythm feels natural. When you imitate someone, it is similar to singing along with a melody. You access layers of learning that are often missing when you treat language as only words and grammar. Second, shadowing improves your ability to listen to the sound, not just meaning. When you do it attentively, you begin to notice melody, intonation, rhythm, elements that are essential for communication in English. They give you an extra sense of confidence and allow you to express emotions and attitudes more clearly. If you focus only on words and sentences, you miss many of the invisible elements of speech. Things we do not consciously analyze, but we definitely perceive when someone speaks. Third, shadowing is efficient because you can do it while driving, washing dishes, or walking your dog. It is a practical way to convert everyday time into meaningful practice, especially when you are alone and can speak out loud comfortably. How to apply shadowing to your everyday practice. Now, before we discuss the biggest mistakes, let's cover two effective ways to practice shadowing. Option 1. Real-time shadowing, no pauses. Play the audio and echo the speaker a split second after them. You do not pause, you simply follow along in real time. This option is excellent when you are on the go, driving, walking, or doing chores, because it requires minimal setup. Option 2. Pause and repeat shadowing, focused practice. This option is best when you are seated and focused, at your desk or on the couch. Ideally, you have the script of what you are shadowing. You play a short line or chunk, pause, and repeat. You do not need to wait until the end of a long sentence. Take manageable segments, pause, and repeat them several times. This method allows you to go deeper because you have time to listen carefully and reproduce details more accurately. The advantage of option 2 is depth and precision. The advantage of option 1 is convenience. Of course, not literally anywhere, but in most places, it would be a good idea to keep practicing. The biggest mistake learners make is not setting an intention, not deciding what they are paying attention to and trying to improve. Shadowing is not about becoming a parrot or doing a simple copy-paste of someone else's speech. Yes, you want to follow speech patterns, voice, intonation, rhythm, melody, and sounds. However, you also need to improve specific things, and for that, you must direct your attention. Your brain filters out a lot of information while you listen and speak. When you repeat on autopilot, you miss critical details because your attention is not anchored to a goal. You may be so focused on getting the words right that you ignore key sounds or intonation shifts that would benefit you most. Or you may be distracted doing other things without a clear purpose in mind. So, my piece of advice is always set an intention for what you want to improve, in addition to gaining the general benefits of shadowing. Yes, shadowing supports vocabulary, flow, and connected speech. But the real upgrade happens when you know exactly what you are listening for and what you are trying to change. For example, if you are working on distinguishing between the sheep ship vowel pair, then during shadowing, you should notice every time the speaker uses the long vowel E versus the short vowel I. Pay special attention to tricky minimal pairs like cheap, chip, or least, list. When you set the intention, I will listen closely to these two vowel sounds, you begin to notice them. And once you notice them, you are far more likely to reproduce them accurately. That is how you rewire pronunciation habits. Intention plus repetition. It is not only about sounds, it can also be intonation patterns. If you want to improve intonation variety, pay attention to how the speaker ends sentences, rising or falling. Listen to which words they stress, how they stress them, lengthening, pitch rise, emphasis, and imitate that specifically. This is extremely valuable because it can create real change in your speech, and that change becomes stable through consistent repetition. Tips for efficient shadowing. Before we wrap up, here are several tips to optimize your shadowing practice. First, choose a voice you truly like. Select a speaker whose voice you enjoy, someone whose sound resonates with you and motivates you. If you dislike the voice, you may practice with resistance, which reduces effectiveness. Choose someone you genuinely want to sound like. It can be an actor, a singer, or anyone you would like to keep as a model. Second, slow down the audio. If the audio is fast, or if you cannot pay attention to the details, slow it down. Use 75% speed or even half speed. You can do this with podcasts and YouTube videos through the playback settings. Slowing down makes it easier to notice patterns and reproduce them accurately. 3. Use a script when possible. If you are not driving, work with the script. Seeing the words helps you process them more deeply. You can place the script in a document and mark it up. Highlight stressed words, divide it into thought groups, underline challenging sections, or mark specific sounds you are targeting. This makes your practice more intentional and focused. 4. Record yourself shadowing. This is a good idea. Play the audio, pause, repeat, and record your voice. Then listen back and compare your production to the original. When you listen from the outside, you notice things you cannot notice while speaking. This may feel like extra work, but it increases efficiency. You gain more from less practice time. 5. Write down your intention. You can write your focus on a note or a sticky note. R sounds, word endings, stressed words, reductions, connected speech, whatever you are targeting. The key is clarity. You must know what you are training. Repeat small sections many times. Do not feel pressured to shadow an entire video or full podcast episode. Take one paragraph or even one phrase and repeat it again and again. Aim for quality, not quantity. Less material, more depth. Now I want to ask you, do you like shadowing? Do you do it? Is it part of your English practice routine? Let me know in the comments. And if you want structured practice, I invite you to join the Influency community, where we practice together on video and do a lot of shadowing. Recently, community members have been shadowing my videos, and it has been incredible to hear so many different voices practicing with such dedication. To everyone in the Influency community, well done. If you are not part of the Influency community yet, I encourage you to join. I will post the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to connect with me on Instagram and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next week in the next video. Bye-bye for now.